my 5 biggest mistakes so you can learn and avoid them. Mistake number 1 was not having a trading plan. When I didn't have a trading plan, a lot of my decisions were based on emotion. And you might think, well, you're an algorithmic trader. The robots trade for you. Why does emotion get involved? Well, actually it does. Let's say you put on a robot, it starts winning. Great, fantastic. But as soon as it starts losing, what do? Do you take it off? Do you let it ride through the drawdown and back into profits? So when you don't have a trading plan like I did, as soon as it hits a drawdown, I take the robot off. So to fix this mistake, I went and downloaded a trading plan from an Australian prop firm, and it was a beast of a trading plan. It was 50 pages long. It covered every single aspect you can possibly think about in terms of trading. It has daily tasks, weekly tasks, monitoring tasks, how you manage your money, how you're going to optimize, how you're going to tweak your settings. It was a beast of a trading plan, but I don't shy away from hard work, so I went and filled in the 50 pages of this trading plan. Which brings us to mistake number 2, having a trading plan that was so complex. Honestly, it was just too much for me to handle. So my mistake was not following my trading plan. So what I did after that was I simplified it to 1 simple page. But I don't regret filling in the 50 pages, because what that 50 pages showed me is what the total different aspects that should be covered in a trading plan, and not all of them apply to algorithmic traders. And even though my 1-pager is relatively simple and straightforward, in the back of my mind I also understand that's not written down on my 1-pager, that is present in the 50 trading plan about my process behind the scenes. Like the way I structure my accounts. I don't have all my money in my trading account. Most of it is actually in my bank account, and only a small portion goes into my trading account. But that's not written down in my trading plan because it's just something I've set up beforehand. My trading plan more covers the everyday aspects, the every week, the every month tasks that I need to achieve. And for me, I found pen and paper, a daily, weekly, monthly task list on paper where I tick off little boxes, helps with my dopamine and helps me stick to my trading plan. The 3rd mistake I made was trading grid martingale expert advisors on my live account. If you're not familiar with grid martingale expert advisors, this is when you see a perfect, smooth equity curve on a trading chart. This type of trading style is notorious at luring in beginner traders because it looks so easy. You never see a losing trade. However, what they don't show you in the marketing is all the accounts that eventually blow up over time. Because the winners are fairly small and the losers are thousands and thousands of times bigger than the tiny winners. So after one quick move, your account can be totally wiped. Even if you built up a track record of multiple years, the next day, anytime, your account can be totally wiped down to 0. And of course, from a marketing perspective, all these accounts get shoved to the side, hidden, and you never hear from them again. So fresh accounts are created to lure in the brand new beginner traders. Now, I actually think this is not a mistake, trading with grid martingale expert advisors. It's like telling a child, don't touch it, it's hot. Obviously, the child has to eventually touch it at some time to understand what heat feels like. So even if I tell a beginner trader, don't trade grid martingale expert advisors, they don't work in the long term. It is something that a lot of people need to go through themselves in order to learn that mistake. You can't learn just because someone tells you to. You need to try it out, test it for a few months, get that hope in you before it totally wipes your account, before you really understand, hey, this strategy doesn't work in the long run. Which is how I personally learn myself. If someone on the street or on the internet tells me something, I'm not going to just take their word for it. I need to take that, test it myself across many different methods before I can prove or disprove whether they are right or not. Now that I have tested myself many different grid martingale expert advisors, different methods including blowing up accounts in the short term and doubling them in the short term to see how they perform in the long term, I am comfortable enough with myself saying I am not a fan of grid martingale expert advisors. Before we go on, let me tell you about Darwinex Zero. If you're not familiar with them, they are a platform designed to reward good traders. You can get a simulated 100k account to trade. Your account then becomes your public track record, which you can then use to attract investor capital and get permanent allocation from Darwinex themselves. They've just recently released 2 add-ons where you can get 100k in permanent allocation, making a total of 4 different ways to make money with Darwinex. The first way is in silver stage, where you can get between 30 to 375k in allocation, and you can get to keep it for 3 months. The next stage is the gold stage, where you can receive up to 500k in allocation and keep it for 6 months. Next is investor capital, which can get into the millions and millions of dollars. And lastly, the brand new 100k permanent allocation. 2 options. You've got the instant allocation and the performance-based allocation. And all these 4 different options are stackable. So you can get silver allocation, gold allocation, investor capital, and permanent allocations all in the one account, making money for you. I've personally been trading with Darwinex for a year and a half. I've received multiple payouts from them, and I've made it to Darwinia Gold. So if you're a trader and you want to make some extra money, like the top account, which has received over 900k in payouts, then I have a discount code for you below if you decide to sign up. Thanks Darwinex for sponsoring this video. Mistake number 4 is using commercial expert advisors. Again, I don't believe this is a mistake. It is part of the learning journey, seeing what else is out there in the market, how other people create their expert advisors, how big their stop losses are, their take profits are, what currencies they use. It is all a learning journey that builds up on the knowledge bank that you have inside your head. And when I'm talking about commercial expert advisors, I'm excluding the grid martingale expert advisors that I referred to before in mistake number 3. Here I am talking about single take profit, single stop loss expert advisors that are low risk. Now, I'm not saying commercial robots don't work. Out of, let's say you have 500 commercial robots and maybe 1 or 2 of them work. The rest of the 490 something don't work. Think about it from an effort perspective. It takes time, your time that you're spending researching and testing these expert advisors. Out of the hundreds that you test, maybe only 1 or 2 might actually work on your broker, on your live trading conditions. And you can spend hundreds or thousands of dollars on these commercial robots, and you don't know when they're going to stop working. The edge in a market that they were programmed for could have been designed 5-10 years ago, and the edge could slowly be withering out, and you've spent thousands and thousands of dollars on this particular expert advisors. When it stops working, again, you have to put in fresh new effort, starting again from scratch, looking for brand new expert advisors, brand new shiny objects that you can purchase. Which brings me to the 5th lesson, investing in myself. All that effort spent testing, researching other people's product, other people's commercial expert advisors, the knowledge that you build over time, a little bit, a tiny little bit does compound. So you know what to look for in my FX book results, you know what to look for in terms of currency pairs, in terms of the size of the take profit and the stop loss. But every time you have to search for a new robot, it's like starting all over again. Whereas if you had spent all that time investing in your own self-growth and development, whether you choose to go down the coding path, the optimization path, the EA generation stage, whatever you choose, pick something that builds up over time, because your knowledge can never be taken away from you. And this is tool-proof, time-proof. So even if you learn how to code on MT4, MT5, and all of a sudden in the future, MetaTrader is not a thing anymore, you have to switch over to CTrader. You have all that knowledge already inbuilt that you can automatically switch over to a different platform or a different programming language. If you choose to invest in a particular software, it's more than just the software you are learning. You are learning about robustness testing, multi-market, multi-currency, multi-time frame testing. You know which strategy, whether it's a trend following strategy or a mean reversion strategy, and that knowledge is not limited to the tool. So worst case scenario, if the tool goes bust, the tool no longer works, you can take that knowledge and apply it to a totally different tool. All these lessons are great, but realistically, how long does it take for a trader to start from noob and go all the way up to pro? And each year, what does their journey look like? And that's something I talk about in this video right here, where I talk about the 2 years experience that I have on YouTube trading Forex. Thanks for watching. Bye.